Hi, Bill and Josh here from CJ Pony Parts with an update on our Project 5030. A short time back we showed you this junkyard 8.8-inch rear we're going to be using as a basis for the rear in this build. We got the rear modified for our use. Josh can tell you a little bit about what we did to it.
First we took the stock 8.8, we cut the ends off, we narrowed it down to 50 inches overall, flange to flange, welded the axle tube to the carrier, and we're going to attach those with Baer Brake brakes on the ends. They have internal parking brakes, they're 2-piece 14-inch rotors, and 4 piston billet calipers. The reason we've added the ends we have on this rear end is to eliminate the C-clips. We'll make the rear end much stronger and stop very quickly.
And the powder coat on those calipers, is that a custom color or is that offered on all of Baer's calipers?
It is a Baer option that they do offer, but it is a custom color that they offer.
Here we assembled the one side just to give you an idea what the finished product's going to look like. You can see the 2-piece rotor, the Baer caliper, and the parking brake is actually inside this hub, so it's not visible at all when it's installed. Josh had mentioned we went to the big bearing ends, basically to get rid of the C-clips to make our rear stronger. We've done a few other things to also strengthen the rear as we go. The axle tubes have been welded to the center section here. It's going to make sure the axle tubes don't twist and will make the whole assembly stronger. We also hit up Scott Drake for one of their Drake muscle cars rear differential girdle. This has 2 bolts to go against the caps, again to strengthen the whole rear end assembly. We're using Ford Racing's 31 spline carrier along with a set of Ford Racing 410 gears. As you can see, we pretty much have everything needed to put the rear end assembly together except for the axles themselves. Because of the custom nature of this build with a narrowed rear, you're going to need a custom axle. So next time out, we'll get the rear actually back in the car, and then we can measure for our axles. Recently though, we did pick up the Baer rear brakes. We also got some Baer front brakes. Josh is going to show you those.
So here you can see the massive Baer brake we put on this car. They're 14-inch rotors with 6 piston calipers. The interesting point about that is this car came factory at 14-inch wheels, and we're now running rotors the same size as the factory wheels. On this, we just threw this wheel we had sitting around on. It's a 19 by 9.5. We're not going to run a wheel quite that big, but we jacked it up a little bit and compressed the air suspension so you can see the tire tuck up in and kind of get the full idea of what this car is going to start to look like.
One of the other modifications we made since our last update on our project was a set of custom wheel tubs for the back. We plan on running at least an 18 by 10-inch rear wheel on the back of this car. To get enough space, the factory wheel tubs just weren't going to cut it. So we narrowed the frame rail and installed these tubs. As you can see, when they're finished, they look pretty much factory.
Now with these wheel tubs, as Bill was telling you, we put them in to put a much larger tire. As you can see here, this is a 315. This is a massive tire to fit on the back of a 65 Mustang. And that's what the wheel tubs are designed for. We're actually going to run probably a 295, maybe a 305 in the car because it is on air. We're going to tuck them up nice and be able to, we're going to push this car pretty hard. We don't have any rubbing issues when we're taking it around a track. But as you can see, a 315 fits up in there, doesn't have any issues. Now we're just in the mock-up stage here, just showing you how this fits. But even with a 315, when we drop the suspension, I'll pull this tire up, it fits in there and I can move it side to side a little bit. There is room. This car is going to perform, have a lot of sticky rubber on the back, and should be a lot of fun when we get it on the road.
Our front suspension and brakes is pretty much finished. As soon as we get a set of custom axles, we can get the rear done, get that in the car, and get that installed as well. At that point, the air ride goes in and we should have a functioning air ride system. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates on Project 5030.